Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a reading looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the Oracle cards and clarified those, and I have the Oracle cards for the overall energy for the reading that I pulled, and we'll dive into Tarot. But first, I want to dive into this overall energy. Your recent past is know your worth with the Empress. Your recent past was a lot about teaching you that you deserve more than what you've experienced. It's a lot about teaching you your worth, teaching you that you are deserving of choosing yourself. And I feel like you're going through this energy of almost like possibly second guessing yourself or second guessing your worth. And I feel like in your current energy, you have stepped into your power with the Eight of Pentacles. So this is about, essentially to me, I see the Eight of Pentacles as something that you're building, something you're trying to create, manifest, if you will. And it's almost like realizing that your power in this situation stems from knowing your worth, knowing that you are deserving of whatever it is that you're trying to create, whatever it is that you're trying to attract. Your immediate future is open up to change with the Moon card in reverse. Now, this to me, it feels like an energy of, it's working through fear, or ultimately like no longer allowing your fear to make decisions for you. I feel like that's what this is. Like the open up to change is kind of like doing things a different way than you've always done. And I feel like there's a potential, especially if there's situations where you haven't really chosen yourself. Usually the reason for that is fear. We stay in relationships that don't serve us because we fear being alone, or we fear never being able to have something better. We stay in careers that don't, respect us or treat us like we deserve, or that we are not fulfilling because we fear, not having the money to pursue our passions, or whatever the case might be. And that's us not choosing ourselves. That's choosing the fear over us, right? Now, the overall energy for this reading is rebirth and friction. And so there's some sort of a rebirth that you are due for. But it's almost like you're currently working through the friction that is keeping you from the rebirth. And so that's what I feel like this fear, this Moon card is talking about, is you're working through a lot of fear about some sort of rebirth, some sort of like new life, almost like creating a new world to live in. And it comes to being able to recognize that your fear isn't your reality. It's merely an illusion, right? But we have to kind of dive into the reason for our fear in order to figure that out. But let's start, Sagittarius, by looking at your recent past, clarifying know your worth with the Empress. Recent past for Sagittarius, please. I feel like you had or are coming into some sort of a breakthrough because you felt really stuck. You've been feeling stuck in a situation that honestly, I feel like made you doubt your self-worth a lot. And so I feel like this is about finding the clarity to move away from this, essentially to step into your power, right? So that you can create circumstances, situations, relationships, financial abundance that aligns with your value and not with how you perceive your value. Because we perceive our value, we accept what we think we deserve, right? That's what it comes down to when I talk about, not choosing yourself, staying in relationships that don't serve us. We accept it, and that's us telling the universe, this is all I deserve, this is all I want. And the universe is kind of like, are you sure? Like, are you sure you don't want something? We've got something better for you. And you're like, no, I think this is what I want because I don't really believe you have something better for me. And that comes down to not believing we're deserving of more. And so I feel like this is a lot about getting yourself unstuck by realizing that your worth and the way you perceive your value and the actions that align with that is what creates better for you. That's why you have step into your power with the Eight of Pentacles. Your power in your creation process is going to be what creates better for you. Recent past for Sagittarius, but definitely feeling stuck in your recent past, kind of feeling like you're not able to move forward. Recent past for Sagittarius. There's the Three of Wands. lots of obstacles. Dealing with a lot of obstacles in your recent past, and possibly still are. But with the World card here, this is coming to an end of a cycle. I've been feeling this for a while. I might have said this in the last Sagittarius reading. I've said it in a lot of readings recently, because I've been feeling this way, that there's like a really big collective cycle coming to an end, and it's affecting people in a lot of ways. And I feel like that's kind of like coming through in this reading as well. Because with the Three of Wands in reverse, it's almost like you're having a hard time seeing past the obstacles. Right now, the obstacles are all you know because you've experienced so much of them. The friction, right? There's been so much friction between you and this rebirth that it's almost become all like it's all you know. Like these obstacles are all you're really familiar with. Recent past for Sagittarius. It's almost like the universe had to make you mad in a way. Like the universe is trying to make you angry and make you see, like get you to a point where you're like, I deserve better than this. I'm tired of dealing with this. I'm tired of dealing with the same obstacles. I'm tired of being stuck in this situation. I deserve more. So that you step into your power and start making change from a place of, I deserve more than this, instead of from a place of, well, if I stay in this, at least it's something, right? As opposed to, or almost like to a certain extent where struggle has become your comfort zone, and it's almost difficult for you to step out of it because the struggle is so familiar that it's hard to even imagine a life or a world where you're not existing in struggle. Recent past for Sagittarius, please. The Seven of Wands. I like this energy you've had here. This is very like standing tall in your truth, standing up for yourself, setting boundaries. Like I feel like that's what you're learning to do here. And not just setting boundaries with other people, but setting boundaries with yourself, like being able to say, I set a boundary with you, but then respecting your own boundaries and saying, if this person steps over my boundaries, then I will walk away, or I will do what's necessary to make sure that that doesn't happen again. So I like that energy. That's a really good energy to have. Something that's coming through in this reading is in all three of these pictures or in these cards for me, like they're all wearing red or orange. No, it's definitely red. Like that's coming through as red for me. So this is a lot like that could be kind of speaking of like root chakra. You could be wearing a red shirt, or this has something to do with red clothing. Yeah, because he's wearing red pants. I don't know. But I just feel like this is like this has a lot to do with, at the end of the day, like thinking root chakra, which is funny because so I shuffled the energy for these cards and I kind of started having a lot of like fear creep in. So before I did this reading, I actually, I keep my laptop right here, I was listening to a root chakra binaural beat to meditate to before this reading to kind of ground me. So I kind of felt that coming through in the pre-shuffle. So that could be kind of popping out here too, is it's almost like this is about like your sense of safety, like your sense of security in the world. And almost like, and maybe some root chakra work is or was needed, is needed possibly, if it's coming through. Grounding yourself so that you can see your next steps a little bit more clear. Current energy for Sagittarius. So you step into your power with the Eight of Coins. Sagittarius, it's time for you to start creating the life that you deserve. You are tired of living in the world that doesn't give you what you deserve. Current energy for Sagittarius, clarifying, step into your power with the Eight of Pentacles. There it is. You're tired of it. You're tired of this Wheel of Fortune in reverse. You're tired of these like it feels like I want to clarify this before I say anything, but it almost feels like you're tired of the same problem. Clarifying this Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I mean, that's what it is. It's like you're burnt out. Yeah. It's the same, it's like almost the same kind of energy. Like possibly you keep experiencing negative changes that are kind of the same that you've experienced since you were a kid, like repeating the same negative situation, seemingly negative situation. And this is what I was talking about. It's like the universe kind of had to make you mad so that you went, okay, enough. I'm going to figure out how to figure this out because I'm tired of dealing with this. I'm tired of dealing with this situation. I'm tired of dealing with this energy. I'm tired of feeling like this. What do I need to do to break out of it? Current energy for Sagittarius, please. Because, yeah, you've been dealing with so much friction. So that's what's interesting. Because then, so it's the same Wheel of Fortune here, but it's almost like, because there's the world. So completing this cycle, but how does Sagittarius complete this cycle? Because the positive changes are here for you. The wheel is turning in your favor, clarifying the world card. There's the Queen of Swords. This has a lot to do with how you speak about your reality, too. Like, I feel like you have a tendency to speak from a place of lack. So if you find yourself walking around being like, I'm so broke, I'm so alone, I'm so this, that, the other thing, whatever the case is, that's, that is affirming victimhood. Now, you might very well feel that way. You might very well be in those situations. But the more that you affirm that, the more that you're giving energy to that, right? And again, what we give energy to, we attract more of. Now, that is the trickiest part of this journey, is that you almost have to learn to catch yourself in the moment. And when you first start doing it, you can kind of start to be like, oh my gosh, like I am constantly putting out energy of lack or of frustration or of anger or of loneliness or whatever the case is. So of course I'm experiencing the same thing because I'm putting that energy out. And it's almost like start believing in these positive changes. Start speaking from a place of, I have the financial abundance I need. And even if it feels like you're lying to yourself at first, I have the financial abundance I need. Everything is going to be okay. I'm okay. I'm safe. I'm secure. I'm, whatever the case is for you, because that will allow you, that's how you step into your power. That's how you take back your power from your circumstances and you say, I'm no longer going to let my circumstances and my reaction to them be the creator of my future circumstances. I'm going to take my power back and I'm going to respond rather than react, and that response is going to create a better reality for me. So I feel like this has a lot to do with paying attention. Like it's almost like, yes, you want these positive changes to come. Of course you do. You want this rebirth to happen. But you have to understand that you are the creator of it. You have to create that. You have to create it with your words, with your actions, with your beliefs. And you have to do that by aligning with as much positivity as you can. Now, that doesn't mean not acknowledging the way that your life is and the way you feel about it. Yes, I acknowledge that I'm struggling financially, but at the same time, I know but at the same time I know I have the financial abundance I need. Yes, I acknowledge that this is what this looks like right now, but I'm going to affirm differently. That's how we retrain that belief system. Because again, this is talking about a situation that you have kind of experienced since you were a kid. And so it feels like this is a level of having to retrain your belief system from what you've experienced, financial struggle, loneliness, things kind of falling apart for you, getting the rug ripped out from underneath you. You have to reframe your thinking to now align with where you want to go. And the only way we do that is by, because remember, I talk about this in almost every reading, 95% of our movements, choices, decisions, reactions, responses, it comes from our subconscious. And that subconscious aspect of us is a product of our experiences unless we use that 5% of our conscious power to retrain that part of us. It's retraining your brain, that it's retraining your inner world so that your outer reality reflects that. And it's a hard thing to do. It's a hard freaking process. But the more that you can start to consciously do that, that's how you consciously create better. You don't have to be a victim to your circumstances anymore. You have the power. Step into your power. You have the power to create better, to create the circumstances you want, to create the stability you want, to create the relationships you want. You have that power. But you've got to believe in that. Current energy for Sagittarius. Current energy for Sagittarius, please. The Four of Wands in reverse. There it is. You have this Five of Pentacles with the Four in reverse, with the Four of Wands in reverse. Your lack mindset is the culprit, Sagittarius. And I feel like that's what you're needing to, this is what you're needing to reframe. Now let me see. Let's see if we can get information on where this, clarifying the Five of Pentacles here. Now, lack mindset, it's a hard one to kick. It's a really hard one to kick because you have to heal your relationship with, it's like you have to sever ties to lack almost. Yeah, because there's the new beginning. So this lack mindset, so that's exactly what this is saying, because this is conflict, right? Conflicting energy, and then you have the Fool in reverse. This lack mindset is keeping you from this new beginning, from this rebirth. It's with the Six of Pentacles in reverse, it's keeping you from receiving. So your lack mindset is the culprit here. And that's a hard thing to come to terms with, right? Because it's like, no, it's my circumstances' fault because this happened, that happened, this happened, this happened. And yes, of course, those things probably did happen. And I'm not here to say it's your fault that they've happened. When I talk about how the 95% of us has a tendency to manifest, situations, how our lack mindset manifests things for us, that is not me saying it is your fault. It's me saying there is a part of you that has experienced so much lack in your life that you have internalized that that's all life is, that that's all you deserve, that that's all, your experiences are going to be consistent of is lack, is loss, is, struggle. It's getting yourself out of a mindset of survival so that you can start to experience a life of thriving, a life of living, and not just a life of surviving. Because I feel like that's what you've spent so much of your time doing. Immediate future for Sagittarius. So you have open up to change with the moon in reverse. So this isn't necessarily change to your reality. This is open up to change of you, your inner world, how you respond, how you work through fear, how you face obstacles, how you speak about your reality. Immediate future for Sagittarius, please. There it is. This is my favorite card in tarot. Now the Star, so lack of hope. With the Eight of Swords in reverse, this is my favorite card in tarot because this is releasing yourself from the limiting beliefs that have a tendency to manifest into your reality. Lack mindset, lack of hope, because that's what's keeping you here from being able to receive. Now, it's easy to say all this. I understand that. It's easy to be like, oh, it's your lack mindset. It is so much harder to dive into that mindset and dive into that belief system and retrain it. Like, of course, it's easy for me to be like, just retrain your mindset. Like, I get it. I struggle with a lack mindset too. That's why I'm able to understand the way that it works, because I can see when I respond to my reality from a place of lack, I create more lack. When I respond from a place of faith and everything's going to be okay and the universe has my back, I create more of that. And I've seen it in my world. I've seen it in other people's worlds, who are on the spiritual journey, who I kind of, help through their journey. So it comes down to the fact that you are no different. Your life is no different. You are in control of your circumstances more than you think, but you are not in control of how things play out. You are in control of how you respond. Your response is what creates your reality. I mean, it's kind of law of attraction 101, right? But it's so, I understand, like, the ability to do it is so much harder, especially when you feel like a victim, especially when you feel like you've been screwed over and over again. It's hard to retrain the part of yourself that goes from, and this is why I believe that one of the readings I did for Sagittarius was from victim to survivor. Your victim mentality, though very justifiable, it keeps you stuck in that energy, right? It keeps you stuck in it and feeling like that. And you don't deserve to feel like that anymore. You deserve to feel like a survivor. You deserve to feel like you're no longer surviving because you've survived. And now it's time for you to thrive. It's time for you to live. It's time for you to experience joyfully pursuing your passions and living, a fulfilling life on a day-to-day scale. And so I feel like this really comes down to diving into that part of yourself, diving into that hurt, diving into that part of you that has been screwed over, because the reason you feel that way is because you have experienced that. So of course you feel that is going to continue to repeat itself because it's all you've ever known. But that's where you have to step into your power, and you have to rise above the circumstance, and you have to retrain yourself to think in alignment with abundance. And it's hard, but it's doable. It doesn't have to be hard, but it is. And call in guidance, call in your angels, call in your higher self, the universe, God, whoever it is that you believe in, whoever it is you speak to. Find a way. Ask for how you can, for me, it was always like I give my fears, insecurities, and doubts, to the universe for healing and transmutation. And I watched miracles happen in my life by doing just that. Immediate future for Sagittarius. So this is about opening up to change and how you respond to your reality, how you interact with your reality. And I don't just mean like other people in situations, how you interact with yourself. How do you speak to yourself? How do you speak to yourself when you look in the mirror? How do you speak to yourself when things go wrong? How do you speak to yourself when you mess up? That matters. It matters so much more than you realize. Immediate future for Sagittarius. And that inner critic, that voice, that part of you that wants to criticize you, that's not you. That's the people who have hurt you. You don't deserve to, those people do not deserve to have power over you anymore. You deserve to take your power back. All right. Immediate future for Sagittarius. Going on a little bit of a rant here. Okay. You are so close to breaking out of this cycle. Oh my gosh, Sagittarius. I feel like this is like I feel like you've been climbing out of like a hole, and it's been like a pretty steady climb, and the closer that you've gotten to the end of it, it's gotten steeper. And I feel like you're at the point now where you are climbing straight up out of this hole, and you are so close, but at the same time you feel like it's getting harder. You're more tired. Your will is running out. Your strength is running out. And that makes plenty of sense. That's a cycle for you. The closer you get to the end of it, the harder it feels. The harder the harder the devil energy attacks. The harder the fear hits. And that's when you have to use your power and your strength and that mindset, because your power is your mindset. Your power is your strength. It's your growth. You have to use that to break out, to allow yourself to break out of the friction. You're so freaking close. Like I wish you could see this. Like I don't know. I see it in my mind. Like it's like I know to you it feels hopeless because you're so tired, but you are so close. So don't lose the faith. Don't lose the faith. Open yourself up to the belief that the universe is going to provide you with better. Immediate future for Sagittarius. Immediate future for Ooh, getting tinglies in my crown chakra. Immediate future for Sagittarius, please. So funny because my boyfriend like isn't spiritual. He's getting there. And like before I met him, he was not, like he didn't believe any of this. But we were having a conversation the other day about something, and it was a spiritual conversation, just kind of talking about beliefs and a lot of what I talk about in my readings. And he was like, I feel a lot of pressure in my head. And he was like, what is going on? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. He's like, I feel this tingle. Immediate future for Sagittarius, please. Look at that. This is so exciting for you guys. Death with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. The ending to this instability. The ending to feeling ungrounded. It's coming. It really is. This cycle is coming to a close. You just have to trust in it. I want to get more clarity on this death card, because death cards can seem scary in readings, but I just don't think this one is. Clarifying the death card in Sagittarius' immediate future. Now, you might be going through kind of like a spiritual ego death to get there, and that might feel scary. But the actual situation taking place isn't scary. Clarifying the death card and Sagittarius' immediate future. The well. Look at that. This is going to start to allow you to receive. Cool. It's like, because this to me is like, there's 2 additional major arcanas in this deck that I use. And this one to me is the process. It's like the process of letting go and allowing things to flow. It's like the release, the ending of this friction, the death of the friction. So allow things to start to flow. But you're working through fear right now. You're working through the shadow version of you, the shadow side of yourself that's been triggered, that's been hurt, that, is dealing with a lack of hope. That version of you is very real, and it needs a lot of love and care right now because it expects the worst. And you don't deserve to continue to experience the worst. Therefore, you do not deserve to continue to expect the worst. Expectations being the root of your results. All right, we are going to hop on over to the extended. I'm going to clarify these messages, dive into the advice. I've got an advice card to pull at the end. Thank you so very much, as always, for the support of my channel. It means the absolute world to me. I wish you guys absolutely nothing but love and healing on your journeys. Bye, Sagittarius.